This week in the League of Legends, we've got Taric's update. We've got his skills, finally. We've got patch 6.7, a whole host of new splash arts, some skins, and the rollout of the SKT lineup. All this and more on the SKT Gaming Web Show.
This is Water Elemental.
And this is Axis, and we are here today to talk about the League of Legends. This is an ongoing show where we talk a little bit about everyone's favorite MOBA-style battle game, Taric 6.7. Taric is being rolled out later in this patch. He's not out quite yet.
They've rolled him out a lot faster than they did Aurelion Sol.
But that's just because this is a rework. I imagine it'll be like an hour, and he'll probably be out by the time we talk about this.
Yeah. Just like last week where we did all the stuff, we put it out, and as I was...
put the skills out, and then I got grievously ill. Grievously! So let's run over Taric really quick. First things first, we've got his passive, which is Bravado. It gives him an empowered basic attack, or 2 basic attacks, for each spell cast. They'll deal 15 plus 5 per level, and 15% bonus armor as magic damage. These will also reduce the base spell's cooldowns by 1 second on attack in a quick succession. His first ability is Starlight's Touch. He'll spend an amount of charges on his character to heal nearby allied champions for 20 plus a flat amount per charge and an AP scale. Now this multiplies along, and he slowly recovers charges over time, and I believe you'll be able to reduce this with cooldown reduction. So his W ability is Bastion. Now Bastion passively grants Taric armor, and actively it shields him and a target and links them briefly. Now while they're linked, this allows him to essentially cast spells from both of them. And that plays into his next ability, which is Dazzle. Dazzle is his E, and it creates a beam of starlight out from him that sort of lingers on the ground and then goes off, which will stun targets and deal some magic damage.
Now, if you're bonded with an ally, he will also have a reticle, kind of like how Pix works for Lulu,
yes.
And it will focus towards your cursor, and it will have another chance to stun whatever's in that area.
Very cool stuff. And finally, Cosmic Radiance. After a 2.5 second delay, there will be a Cosmic Pulse on him and onto nearby allied champions, which will make them invulnerable for 2.5 seconds. Now this casts from him and his link target, and it's a small AoE that will affect all friendly allied champions within. So you can cover quite a bit of area. It is delayed, but it functions as a Kayle ult. It doesn't stop CC, it doesn't stop debuffs, or anything like that. It just prevents all damage from taking place.
Right. Here's the moment of, do I like this update or not? I've been very critical with the last few updates, and Taric is one of my favorite supports in the game, period. And I love it. I love his new kit. You described it as...
They're making Taric the easiest support in the game into probably one of the hardest ones to play effectively. Don't get me wrong, you can still heal and do basic stun play, but to do him in his intended role is going to be very, very hard.
What's really cool is they kept the heart of all of his original skills except for his ultimate. So his Q still heals, but now it has an added bonus that synergizes with the rest of his kit. His armor, passive ability that did damage now is shielding you and an ally, giving them armor, and then it can activate to deal damage and then bond you with that character. His E, now it can stun one or more targets, more of a skill shot, can hit multiple targets. It's not just a standard tap, hit for stun, done. And his ultimate went from kind of a weak damage increase aura to he makes characters invincible and has a lot of strategy to it. And yeah, it's insane. And the fact that it combines with the fact that they kept kind of the essence of the character from that kind of flamboyant, very kind of, I'm stylish, look at me, to kind of like this heroic, flamboyant He-Man character, and they even kept his jokes. So I'm super happy with this. It was worth the wait.
We'll have to see how he plays. We'll give you guys a full score and a breakdown of how he functions in-game in the next episode. We're moving on to the skins that are coming out. We've got a whole host of them that came out on the PBE. We've got Infernal Diana, which is a fire skin for Diana. Nothing really crazy here. It's just a lot of really pretty looking VFX. Like, really, really pretty looking.
This was the skin that was voted for by the fans during the All-Star match. And since Team Fire won, it is a fire-themed skin.
It's technically Infernal, which is the same as Susan's Infernal skin. And, yeah, it looks really cool. Again, fire skins are kind of overdone, but, I mean, it was voted for, so I can't fault them too much.
And then we finally have the SKT T1 skins coming out from the World Finals. We have Alistair, he's pretty much all covered in, like, a hoodie and horns and...
it looks bad, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Elise, she looks decent. Has the headphones, has like the theme color, nice jump pants. The spider looks really cool with the emblem being on the back and the little spiders kind of like in that shape. I really like that one. Renekton, he looks decent.
I don't like his weapon.
Yeah, that's the one thing I kind of hate about it too, where the weapon looks a little too stretched to keep up with the...
It looks a little cartoony as F.
Rise, probably the best question mark out of the skins. For 750, he has the chalice instead of the scroll. His book is now a laptop. He looks like he's in blackface, is the best way to describe it. He's kind of creepy.
Rise face.
You know how I got these scars? Fighting people for League of Legends.
I got these tattoos in Rune Prison.
And then finally we have Sivir,
which actually is the nicest looking one.
Yeah, she has the new, animated hair. The boomerang, it circles around and the emblem is always facing the same direction. So it kind of looks like it's like kind of wavering, which it looks cool. It's better than kind of like just hitting people with it. But they're okay skins. I think the original SKT skins look better, but I think, you can't hit the same magic twice.
I heard that. Well, that's really it. Additionally, we got a bunch of new splash arts. This is continuing their splash art upgrade from last patch. The most jarring one, obviously, is Aurelia. I still get confused when I see her weird, long forehead face. I'm like, who is that?
Well, what bothers me is they took all of the Karthus skins from China. They didn't use any of the American ones since they're trying to homogenize. And all of Karthus' skins do not show his face because it's a skeleton and because of China.
It's a skeleton.
Yeah, so all of his skins show him with like a hood up, and I don't like those skin art. Like, I preferred the one that they originally had for him. So, it's kind of nitpicking, but I honestly preferred the US one. Some of them are really good, though. A lot of the Renekton, the Twisted Fate, some of the Trinimir ones are really good.
Twitch ones are nice, too.
Yeah. So, it's a very toss-up on like what the art looks like, but since...
Honestly, some of these skins are like kind of like retro. They remind me of a really old League because a lot of them are really old League. I don't know. It's just old. It's kind of nostalgic for me.
Yeah, let us know what some of your favorite art changes are. If you like it, if you hate it, let us know in the comments down below.
Indeed. Now we got patch 6.7, which we're gonna run through really quick. It's kind of a small patch, but just some minor tweaks, especially to Aurelion Sol. The big one, first of all, is Star Surge's stun duration got knocked down from 1 to 2 seconds to 1 to 1.5. This seems to be a theme, but with all of the CCs coming out on new characters, they're just dropping them down to 1.5 stuns from 2. And this is in light of the tenacity changes, which also got dialed back. So it's kind of weird, but nobody builds Merc Treads anymore, and they really should keep the stuns at 2 seconds, so Merc Treads is a viable option. That's just my thought. Additionally, Voice of Light. The slow percentage went down by 20% at all ranks, from 60, 70, 80 to 40, 50, and 60. The duration halved from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. However, it no longer decays over the duration, so it's much more reliable.
Corki, they changed the passive of Hex Tech Munitions. The base attack ratio is now 1.0 instead of 1.1. Slightly noticeable.
Yeah, the big thing about Corki right now is just that you get a Trinity Force and you're dealing so much magical, so much physical, nobody can keep up. So, good change overall, reducing scaling where it's not necessary. There's so many ways to reduce magic damage now, it doesn't really need that boost. Aurelia, they really should have her new splash art on there. I don't know why they don't on the patch notes. It's actually kind of funny. Blade Surge, the mana cost went down by 10 at all ranks, and the AD ratio went to 1.2 from 1.0, just giving Aurelia a more safe and consistent top lane. She crushes a lot of people, but I guess they don't play the game.
Yeah.
Jhin, the damage on Dancing Grenade went down by 10 at all ranks, and the mana cost went up by 10 at all ranks. However, Captive Audience, his E, has had its mana cost reduced by 10 at all ranks. This is nice for me because I like to play E2nd Jin. I'm one of those crazy people. Dancing Grenade, I think they're hitting it in the wrong place. It's the only thing he has to fill in the gaps where he can't CS, and CSing on Jin is already kind of a pain if you're trying to play him in his intended role. That's too bad. But either way, we'll see how this plays out. I imagine no one is going to max captive audience second like I do, but we'll have to see.
They also fixed a bug with him where High Noon Jin was enormous.
I loved High Noon Jin being enormous.
It was just, he was so big.
I loved it.
Kindred, Wolf's Frenzy, the passive heal on it went down at early levels and higher at later levels. It went from 39 to 94 to 34 to 102. So late game you heal more, but you heal way less early game. Lamb's Reprise, her ultimate, now self-cast directly on top of Kindred, no longer can be placed on allies. So a little bit of enough.
This is really obnoxious. I've seen so many Kindreds flub their ultimate because they don't understand this change. It's actually really goofy, but ultimately I think it brings down Kindred's power. So I'm all for that. I hate Kindred.
It was like when Maokai had his ult go onto him entirely instead of being able to throw. And that was one of the things that drove me nuts. I'm like, no, I want to go. Oh, nope, it's on me.
Ultimately, I think I was better for Maokai, but I think this is a nerf to Kindred, which is good.
Yep.
Prismatic Barrier is slightly slower on Lux, but they've increased the speed at which it returns. So this is just amplifying the changes that they made to Lux in the previous patch. Hotshot Nidori GG. Nidali had her pounce damage reduced at early levels just by 5 points and brought all the way up to 210 at the later levels. So gained 10 at the last level, lost 5 at the early. Not a big deal. Poopy. Passive E range on her Iron Ambassador, so the distance she can throw a buckler, got brought down by 100 units. It no longer resets her basic attacks. Hammer Shock, the basic damage on it, the flat damage, went down, and the percentage damage went up to 7% and 115 respectively. Heroic Charge, the range on it went from 525 to 425. So unifying her ranges to 425, making her less threatening at long range, which is how it really should be. She's got too many tools to deal with too many situations.
Yeah, she had too much range on her for being a melee character. She had such a huge gap closer that made her very popular in the LCS.
Rammus. Tremors, the cooldown on it was increased at early levels to 180 and 60 from flat 60. Soraka's Q mana cost and her W Astral Infusion mana cost both increased. Soraka's Q went from 40 at all ranks to 40 to 60 at max rank, and Astral Infusion gained 10 mana cost at all ranks.
They really want to kind of force her out of this continuous spamming, like her Q.
Heal, harass. Udyr, the flat health regen he has gone from 8.7 to 6. The DPS on Phoenix stance has dropped by 5 points at all ranks, and the proc damage has been reduced by 15 at all ranks.
Yeah, he got hit hard.
Well, Udyr's in a bad spot right now.
Yeah.
But, for a character that does so much passively, I think it's about time.
Zed, Living Shadow, the cooldown has increased at all ranks. At the earlier ranks, went from 18, 17, 16, 15, 14 to 22, 20, 18, 16, 14. So you can't, spam your W as much early game. The passive bonus attack damage also went down at all ranks from 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. So his main harassment tool is kind of going away.
Good. Malmortius item changes have occurred. The magic resistance has dropped by 10 points, and you no longer get attack speed from the magic resistance proc.
Ooh.
Warlord's Bloodlust, the effectiveness versus minions on ranged characters has been changed. They get significantly less lifesteal versus minions. Make sure you read up on this when you're checking your keystones. Death timers have been tinkered. Death timers between 30 and 55 minutes have had their timers reduced ever so slightly, so you can have less impactful pushes. And that's really it. They added the Ascension game mode, and that's going to be part of the rotating game mode queue. So they'll keep us updated on when stuff comes out. But I think they'll go away on Friday, and we'll get a new one on Monday. Is that how it's going to work?
So, no, it's a weekend-only thing.
Oh!
So it started Friday. It went away today, I believe. So if you guys want to play that game mode, play it during the weekend. I earned some chests out of it. A lot of fun. I forgot how fun the death match was. Singe was my homeboy through that whole time.
The big thing they're doing also is changing dynamic queue. Now, if you are higher than, I believe, Platinum 3, you can only queue with people within 3 divisions of you. So, Plat 3 can only queue with Plat 5 and Plat 1 and anyone in between. Plat 1 could only be like, I think, Plat 2 and Diamond 2. So just keep an eye out for that. You might not be able to play with your friends if you're too high rank, which is good and bad. You could game the system a little bit too much before.
So they added some changes to the Hex Tech crafting. Key fragments now can have a chance of dropping after winning an ARAM or Twisted Tree Lines game. I was able to build a few keys over the weekend. As of Summer's Rift, key fragments drop rarely, and the more keys fragments you earn, the fewer will drop. At launch, Ultimate and Legendary tier loots were marked with gemstones. We're adding clarity to the system for 2 higher tiers of loot. So there's going to be different tiers of how rare the legendary skins are. So if you get a legendary skin that's like orange, it's ultimate, mythic is purple, legendary is red, and epic is teal. And they're adding mythic loot to include Annie.
Oh, dang.
And that's really it. The new Silent skin is in the patch. We'll probably be seeing that soon. We already saw the program Lysandra and Soraka skins. They're kind of creepy. And we have a whole host of MSI skins and icons to kind of enjoy. Not skins, but icons.
Yeah, go grab them. They're good for you, probably.
They're good for you.
But that's really it for official news this week, guys. We're looking forward to the full Taric launch, and we'll keep you posted on what we think of him. Otherwise, we're going to move on to our own section here. I've been getting a lot of questions about Dark Souls. Yes, I own it. Yes, I am playing it. Yes, it is destroying me. I've been very sick over the past couple of days, but I've been avoiding every piece of Dark Souls content, and I'll probably be putting out either a PvP video or a review video for our Patreon feed, so you can keep an eye out for that, and if you're interested in checking it out, well, you may have an option for that.
It sounds like Bellier wants me to watch him play it and talk to him while he gets super frustrated. He wanted me to play it originally, and I told him, no, I am not going to torture myself that much again.
Oof. You're missing out, pal.
I'm still trying to get through Bloodborne.
Bloodborne's cool. The new Dark Souls so far has been a little bit like Bloodborne, actually.
Oh, that's good. Then I might, after I finally beat the Bloodstarved Beast, I might actually...
Really?
Okay, I'm in a bad spot where I have to farm stuff, and I'm just too lazy to farm. I got into, 5%, and then something hit me out of nowhere, and I'm just like, damn it! So close.
Because you're conscious.
Yeah.
But that's really it for questions this week, guys. We're running a little bit long, so we just did a quick one. If you have some questions for us about the show, about SKT Gaming, about League of Legends, about upcoming things, about upcoming whatever, please post them in the comment section below. Send it or email at skstgaming@gmail.com, or post them on our Facebook, Twitter, or website, all of which are linked to the information down below. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/SKTgaming. You can donate to that to get exclusive features, bonus content, and more. You can take a double look at that and maybe get into something that you just might like.
Thank you to Casey Malloy, one of our newest Gravedigger tier Patreon subscribers.
Oh, those are old memes.
We need to really rename that.
Yes, we do. Oh, God.
That was for one episode 2 years ago when I was bored and felt like editing something.
We did it all right. It looked cool. We got to pull that up.
Which episode was that? I don't even remember.
It was one of the weeks we had absolutely no news.
Oh, yeah.
We had to kill so much time.
We had so much time to kill. But anyways, thanks again. If you guys want your name listed, check out the Patreon.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm going home, and I'm going to go lay in bed, and then probably get up at 3 a.m. and play Dark Souls. It's been Axis.
And Water Elemental.
Oh, I did the exit thing before the names.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. You failed me for the last time.
Weird half Star Wars reference.
We need to really